So we're here at Closing the Gap, but what's your view on the educational gap?
Well, I think it's the big challenge for the education system, really. I mean, the fact of the matter is we've got a school system that does very well for many children, but for some it just leaves them dead and cold and feeling left out in that respect, really. So it seems to me that we need something quite radical. I mean, so many efforts have been made to improve education, particularly for children from various kind of disadvantaged communities, and clearly what we've done so far, it's made some difference, but it's not enough. So I think now is the time for some quite radical thinking, some new ideas. Really, if you think about it, the nature of a school doesn't look that much different now to when we had the 19th century. We went through the 20th century, and still we have children sitting in rows, teachers standing at the front. You know, the schools are really quite conservative places, really. They don't change very rapidly in that respect. So here we are now in the electronic age and the 21st century. I think we need something quite different and something quite radical, really.
So, do you think that children from a more deprived background understand films just as much as children from a middle-class background?
I think things like films and other art forms and other ways in which young people can participate are so important to the way in which we've got to move schools forward in that respect. And somebody I heard at the conference today said, you know, what we've got to look for are different hooks. How do we hook children's interests, really? And clearly what would interest you wouldn't be necessarily what would interest me, really. So I think what we need in schools is variety of content, variety of experiences, variety of relationships. And within that, something like film clearly is going to turn quite a lot of children on, but then clearly you've got to have variety of films. You've got to expose children to films of different kinds. You know, I would be interested in films, for example, of different places and different parts of the world. I came from a relatively poor background, and I think one of the things that it did for me as a young person was going to the film. And as a young man, I used to go to the film with my dad. You know, I saw places around the world that I couldn't have imagined, and I think that opened the world of travel to me when later in my life I was fortunate to be able to go to other countries in that respect, really. So I think the media of films and music and drama, all the art forms, are the way of opening up pathways to all young people, and I mean all young people, including those from a disadvantaged background.
Thank you very much.